So I'm gonna give you my take on the story of Job, but first I'm gonna have to take you back to the Garden of Eden, and then probably touch a little bit on the life of Jesus Christ. Uh, and so, to start with, is what happened in the Garden of Eden? What was the forbidden fruit that Satan offered Eve, and Eve in turn offered Adam? Uh, what is the tree of knowledge of good and evil? The way I can best describe it is it's our ability to judge good and evil, to judge each other, to judge God, and to judge ourselves, and not just basic discretion, because we all realize that we need the ability to choose a path in life, but the ability to deem something good or evil in so choosing. And so basically that was the forbidden fruit, our ability to judge something good and evil, and classify in that way. And so the book of, or the story of Job, what was Job going through? When we're told that Abba, Father, God, basically handed Job over to Satan, what did that mean? The way I see it is that Job, there was a community of people around Job, and like all sons and daughters of God, they were jealous of his relationship with God, and they probably started praying, asking God, why do you favor Job so much? And so in doing so, he said, because he explained to him, Job is a good son. There's nothing that I could do or you could do to Job that would cause him to fall away from me. And so basically, people started watching Job. Job was under heavy scrutiny because of his incredible relationship with God. They just couldn't believe God loved him so much, and that he loved God so much and so unconditionally. And so basically, this network of people, Job was highly intuitive, also like sons and daughters of God today and throughout time, and he could feel this judgment upon him. He could feel people judging him, and so it affected Job tremendously. And so I think these are part of the tests that Job was going through, is that he was being judged by the people around him, and it was causing him to judge himself possibly a little bit, and he could feel the heat, and it was manifesting in his life quite the way if people in your town or your village or your city today were all had you under a heavy eye, a scrutiny, where they were all paying attention to what you were doing, seeing if you were going to fall, if you were going to mess up, if you were going to turn on God, if you were going to let yourself go, if you were going to let your relationship with God go, and if you were going to start judging God. And so Job had to go through all those trials and tests, and eventually people saw that he was not going to turn on God, and that he couldn't and would not let himself go totally. And he had to eventually win this group of people over that had manifest themselves as basically a network, a satanic network against him in his life. They probably withheld favor from him, withheld opportunity, withheld grace, and we're not treating him with grace. And so I'm going to fast forward a little to why Christ tells us to take up our own cross to follow him. And he does that so that we will not put each other up on the cross, so that we will not judge each other good or evil, and put each other up on the cross, and basically deal with your own stuff internally. Take up your own cross, deal with your own stuff. Don't gather together to gossip and to create a network of scrutiny upon someone, because it's not fair. It's what caused it's what happened when man fell from the grace of God. So basically, offer each other grace. And so that's basically, to me, what the story of Job is. There's more to it, and once you can digest this a little and let it marinate, I'll get into a little more about my take on the whole thing. But yeah, Job was definitely dealing with a network of people that were calling him back from God, calling him back from the promises of God, testing the love of God in his life, his love for God, and so, you know, if there's something that we can wake up and do to give each other more grace tomorrow, and more latitude to grow in our own personal relationships with God, and not get involved and surveilling and scrutinizing, you know, in a sadistic, voyeuristic type of way. And like I said, we all have to have ability to make a decision about what's best for us, and that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, think about it. Love y'all.